Yeah, I think we had a good, fun open mat yesterday too, so this should be some good footage. So let's dive in. Me and Andrew getting a rare first round. I feel like we never get the first round, Andrew. What's going on, bruh? Steven joining us. Rolling with Danny here. We got Aries and David over there. Cool. I'm down. I'm down. I'd rather have you fresh and tired, man. I'm looking forward to watching the back take from here though. Steven on some inverted stuff. Not quite working though. Danny keeps good control of his ankles to prevent him from making any real meaningful connection. We got Peters and James. All right, Daniel and Jordan. Good stuff. Looks like Jackson over there with, I think, Jason. Cool. Really trying to send that that tripod. I was so high up behind the knee, though, that it wasn't as clean as I like it to be. Normally, you want to be behind the ankle. And I honestly, the more I do, I was talking about this the other day, the more I do that variation of the triangle where I'm like grabbing the foot, you know, sitting near my hip and all this, I'm convincing myself that this is, like, while it's an easier tripod for me to get, the follow-up, I think the easiest follow-up has to be just immediately grabbing that leg and going on the attack from there. Because getting up from that position, like treating it as a sweep, is not the easiest thing to do. Steven attacking Danny's arm. He's got himself the underhook from that arm attack, though. So when the arm attack fails, he ended up advancing his position anyway, so that's good. Jordan looking to stave off Daniel's back attack here. What did Danny do? Okay, so Steven, with that underhook, Steven's looking to climb over the back. As soon as he gets Danny's arm off of him. So Danny gets, or Steven gets a sweep. Was this just a stack here, I think, on you, Andrew? Not really. Oh, Daniel gets some tricky compression choke here. I personally hate getting caught in this. Daniel sees the opportunity, though. So Jordan has his top arm across his body. Normally, when we talk about this, we talk about it in terms of taking the back. But that would be in a case where Daniel's hips were on, the opposite side. Like Daniel would already be behind Jordan, and he'd be, on the verge of the chair sit back take, locking that up. Here, Daniel's in front of him, though. But with that chest behind the tricep, this gives Daniel an opportunity to hit a really uncomfortable, you could probably call it like a compression choke. What's up, James? I find that my pec and shoulder just get smashed together right in here, and it just hurts. Whether or not everybody will tap to that, I don't know. There is a strangle element here. Yeah, you know what? This is, I'd say this turns into a strangle by virtue of this forearm, and then that deltoid into the neck. Jordan's own shoulder into his neck. But more than that, when I find myself caught here, it's just really uncomfortable. James, I see you working over here with Peters. Looks like guys moving a little slow, a little warm up round maybe. got you. Steven flowing his way to Danny's back here with a Kimura trap. And opting to come right up and over. Immediate hooks in. That's really good. Joseph. What's up, my man? Are you rested up or are you still all beat down? Oh, Andrew just throwing my legs by, smashing into me. Oh, okay, great move from Daniel here. I mean, Jordan looks to be like, if you walked into the room right now, you'd say, all right, Jordan's about to take Daniel's back. But you know, even though Daniel doesn't have the underhook here, he has such good control of the head that he, yeah, that's probably more so this arm doing the work than the arm over the head, is able to put Jordan back down from just about getting behind him. Good head and arm control. Oh, what happened over there? So Andrew on an ankle attack, I counter. Okay. See if Steven can get this rear naked strangle. He's got the crossed up ankle, switching to a crab ride leg there. Oh, what a jerk, doing it again. That was actually more of a traditional compression. There's the back take. I gotta highlight. I wish Peters was on. Peters was trying to do this like a few weeks ago, which is why it was kind of fresh in my memory. So looking here from this reverse De La Riva. So I've got my bottom leg or my right leg in, and I take a scoop grip on the ankle. Invert underneath. Andrew pressing my leg down into me in this case. I'm not going to tell you that that's a bad reaction, because like you've heard us talk so much about controlling the feet, you know, controlling the ankles to, you know, disrupt these leg entrances. So you're doing that here. My inversion, it's kind of working for me because I've got to get underneath and behind you for this move to work. So they're extending my leg. Now that knee has poked through, right? It was easy to do because it was getting smashed into me. So the knee comes through behind. I don't let him go too far. Once I get the waist within reach, I can reach up and grab it and take the back. I think what I did here, if I remember correctly, the reason Andrew kind of stutters out of this and doesn't just rip away, this leg of mine is in the back of his, kind of like pushing it out from underneath him. So he's not really able to get a good base. I can get him broken down, and then it's just onto the back take. So one more time, just because I don't think I've ever hit this before, at least not this cleanly, and I really like seeing it. That was fun. Good, clean fun, right? With some time left. I don't remember if I get anything out of it, but I like the entrance. Daniel fighting up, wrestles up, gets Jordan down. Very nice. Danny trying to hit that octopus. Just about gets the hip bump out of it. Steven barreling forward. You saying the Santa Claus telling me that was a gift? Big bridge from Jordan, trying to create some space to get some workable frames in. Now he's got his back exposed. I would not grab the leg like that. You're looking to be put into a rear crucifix when you do that. Yeah, and Andrew manages to get out of that back take, that sweet back take. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I keep it going. I think he outlasts the round here. Steven and Danny do something there at the end. Oh, Danny gets the heel exposed. to the calf slice. So once Danny gets into that Arimiyashi position, single leg X, some modest reaping pressure over here to get the heel exposed. As soon as he can get that heel off the ground, he grabs it up, but doesn't last on it too long. Steven slips the knee, and then a good switch from Danny. I like that little hip switch he does. So the knee, rather than like acting as a, almost like a knee shield, but not in the right context, he brings the knee down to the mat here, and then now can pull Steven in. He's got that foot trapped, and that is a blown ACL waiting to happen. That was really nice. Daniel finishes off the round on top. We had this intro, Carlos, with the wrestling background, so naturally figured I'd try to wrestle with him. Super fun. He stuck around for damn near the entire class, the entire open mat, so love to see that. Hope we get to see him again. I tried my Russian wrist snap on him too, right there. I don't think he was falling for it though. Got a little look out of him. Big sprawl, but he was able to base. This is, you got to take that away with the wrist snap. So I didn't get the snap part, but I got the sprawl. Steven just sit, probably. Yes. Yeah. So now what is, the beginning of some lessons for wrestlers, right? Just about head position and things they don't normally have to think about. Start throwing some stuff at Carlos to consider. James, the little toe hold pressure there, or toe hold feint. Okay. Steven doesn't fall for it though. Leaves his knee shield in. Stays guarded. Oh yeah, throwing up a triangle on Carlos. I already see Mike trying to set up his big bridge here. Turning his face into Danny's ribs to shut down or prevent any real threat of a north-south strangle. Cole trying to get Jason's posture broken down. That's the way Cole likes to typically get guys to the mat. Posture control, and then just starting to bear forward. Another one. I might try to pass for the first. Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's how it be. So hey, just pick a partner who will go 30 minutes with you. Then you could see how it works. I wish we did that sometimes. Like I'm not talking about the 10-minute rounds like when Luke was training for a match. I mean like just pick a partner and train. It probably works best with somebody like right at your level. Sorry, Jason on a blast double, a little high, but enough to do the job. Yeah, that's fair, especially when I'm not teaching it, since I insist on putting on a timer, whereas Luke's just like, I'm gonna murder whoever I'm with for as long as I want, and then I'll say switch. Luke's going to watch this and then be like, all right, me and Matt start, and 40 minutes of murdering him, talking shit. Jordan with a nice overhead butterfly sweep off. Kind of wing sweep-ish. Doesn't quite get the lateral. So looking here, right there, David briefly loads himself up on Jordan's top leg. He's not fully committed to this, so I feel like if he goes in this position, he's got that grip that he can easily just post out and get safe from being rolled laterally as you typically do in a wing sweep. But Jordan makes an adjustment here and instead takes him overhead. So it's going to be harder for that posting arm to really stop him up in this direction. Jordan gets the turn. Deathcore, thank you for the submission, or the submission, the subscription. We should call them tier 1 submissions now, though, or prime submissions. Hope you're doing well, man. What do we got? What do we got? Cole and Jason relocate. Jordan chasing down the back, looking for... goes from one side of the back to the other with that Kimura trap. Get Carlos on my back. Triangle finish, back corner. We got you and Benjamin. Oh, okay. Damn. All right, you're taking it through some angles here. So there you're in like a 3/4 guard. All right, you've gotten the leg out. Yeah, Ben was stacking there, which again, stacking isn't the best defense for triangles. Nice finish. Way to like slow down that, or not slow down, but stop that roll. Like he stacks you up, you come out, you get him down, and you're like, all right, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna finish the strangle here. That was really nice. I like seeing you guys being able to do arm bars and triangles through inversions and rolls. For Ben, I don't like getting to here wasn't terrible. This is going to be a tough one to work out of. Like you're really deep in this by now. Yeah, I don't know. You might be too deep for me to help talk you out of that one. Yeah, it's tough. When you guys have been getting me in mounted triangles, we'll go back here just because sometimes early prevention is the best, and I think that ship sailed a while ago when I was looking at Ben in the stack. Yeah, right here, Andrew, you're on such a good angle on this roll that like you've already you could probably see, anybody who's been doing jiu-jitsu long enough can see, like you're rolling into the triangle at the ideal angle already. So like for Ben, I would say, trying to come back to square, I like to post my knee outside the opponent's hips, the side of the hips where like they're trying to get their hips out to hit their angle. So like I'm going to be chasing that side down, and then I'll worry about, tucking my chin, trying to connect my hands early on to open up a little bit of space there. But yeah, I was, trying to give Ben something to work with here, but really just Andrew got a very ideal angle very early on for that. So that's going to be a tough triangle to get out of. And I'm pretty sure Andrew has tapped me with a mounted triangle, so I can speak from experience on that. Thumbs up from Danaher. Steven reappearing for his monthly class with a guard that just won't quit. And also, I'm going to say it, looking a little svelte, looking a little trim, looking good. Danny trying to get to a body lock pass here and getting reversed. Oh, well, let's see. That's what it looked like. So, okay, maybe Mike's more trying to throw up a triangle and Danny's trying to prevent that other leg from getting into a spot to finish the triangle. I think that's more what's going on. Danny wasn't trying to do a body lock pass here, but now Mike's got him got Danny's arms committed to preventing this triangle so he could kind of take him over at will. Yeah, Mike's gonna do what he does here. Settle in, be nice and heavy. Jason makes his way to mount. Cole walking the wall. What do we got there, Andrew? You're digging your triangles today, man. This one started pretty early. Yeah, this is just capitalizing on a mistake on Ben's part here. So Ben just leaving that left arm a little too far back. You know, right here. I need that arm coming in, and I need you kind of settling into this close guard. Like the way you're kind of half into this now, you're leaving yourself really vulnerable. Sometimes, like, I hate being in close guard, but I will go fully into it if it means that I'm not putting myself in a triangle threat or an arm bar or an omoplata threat or something like that, and then just kind of wait out that initial storm. But here Andrew starts his attack fairly early. He's working on working through, looked like straight arm to almost an omoplata threat, now coming over to an arm bar threat, back up into the triangle. Really nice progression through these submissions. Locks up the figure four, and then now you just got to get to that angle, right? Or see you working the arm bar again. Get him broken down. Little fulcrum. There you go. Got some clicks in that elbow. Jordan. What do we got here? Jordan on his own armbar, but with a poor leg position that leaves David able to move through this. David doing a good job here disrupting the control. I'd like to see him turn that corner a bit more if he could. But now, I'm not going to say this is impossible for Jordan to finish, but with the arms over, with the legs over the body, both legs over the body, you know, that gives David a lot of room to maneuver. Not to mention the fact that he's not exactly cross-side. You know, he's almost parallel with David, so not the best spot to try to break the arm. And then once he even gets the grip broken, not a good finishing spot. So take your time, man. Think about what control you have over that person in that position, and then move to a more ideal submission position and get to work from there. And then he's just like, shut up, Matt. I'm going to do a Darce instead. Let's see if David can stave this off. David hanging out in turtle. You know, he's facing the same way as his opponent. Damn. Jordan tried to look for the breakdown there. Just because I'm thinking about it. Instead of falling in this direction, Jordan, I'd like to see you go the other way. Because you're kind of, I don't know. I feel like I know what you're thinking here, and it's maybe like take any sort of like Andrew doesn't have a base on that left side, at least not a really effective one that I can see. So maybe I can roll through and like get him down and almost treat it like an anaconda. But when you do this, he's going to have to roll completely over you. That means you're going to have to twist his whole body, which means overcoming the base of his legs. If you go in the other direction, I find it easier to go that other direction. Trying to think through why, because he has a free arm over there. I think it probably has more to do with your ability to tuck his head into his chin when you start to dive this shoulder down and under him, kind of similar to the mechanics of a power half Nelson. You tuck his chin under and get him rolling, and then he'll want to go from there. That's where you get the finish like Luke likes to do, where you can tie up the legs, or the finish I like to do where I can walk myself to mount and then settle in for a tight Darce from the mount position. So don't fall to the side where your arm is diving through. Fall to the side where the strangle is when you're doing your Darces. And then go find a way to break that rule and tell me I'm wrong. James, like you said, ending the rounds in a slightly better position. Steven's still turtled up, hasn't gotten the guard pass yet. Looks like you hit, speaking of power half Nelson, looking for the breakdown there. All right. Said you pull him up off the ground, you get one hook in. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I know what those rounds are like. Okay, Cole sits with that one. Cole looking for his double over sweep. Gets it. Anybody having trouble with sweeps or wanting to work on them, I don't care what sort of grip you have up here. As long as you get a base out of the way. But then you look at what Cole's doing. He's got a hook to elevate and a foot to power off of. Those are kind of three essential ingredients for a sweep. Take away the base, have a way to elevate the hips, and have a foot on the mat to generate your elevation from. Ooh, big turn from, I think, Luke and Ronnie over there. Or no, that's Andrew and Ronnie. That was nice, man. What grip did you have? Was this just double, kind of shallow double under? Or no, maybe an under over. I don't know, either way, that was good. Pulled Ronnie towards you, sat your hips underneath her, and then you get to dictate where she goes and when. Jackson on my back, looking for the strangle. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it when Andrew takes me down either. That's why I sat with him in the first round. It is nice to see you get thrown like that after having been thrown by you before, though. Aries with the big sprawl over here with Mike under the camera. Mike rolls him down to the mat. James on Danny's back. Just about. There we go. Cole makes his way with the pinch headlock. I'll throw another into my sweep recipe from Cole here. Another little spice to add. With whatever grip he's getting, you know, the initial focus I said was making sure you're disrupting a base, right? You're making it hard for him to put an arm in a spot where he can post, and then, you know, taking him in that direction. Cole also uses this position, this pinch headlock, to really get your head like off axis of your spine. Like he's bending your whole torso to initiate this sweep. So watch, you know, like look at what he's doing to David here. He's got this grip, and then he's elevating this elbow way over, getting David's upper body completely turned. His hips are not turned at all, but his shoulders are 90 degrees from where his hips are. And then just like a you know, like a torsional spring, like he's loaded it up, and then he helps turn the hips, and it pretty much goes from there. I'm not going to say that's essential for sweeping, but it's very, very persuasive. Andrew onto Ronnie's back now. Jackson putting me in a triangle. This was a tight triangle, Andrew, by the way. Your boy's got a good triangle. All right, Steven and Carlos. Jason popping that knee free. Taking a big step over to mount. Steven showing our guest no mercy. I knew this was going to happen. Like I didn't see Carlos's other roll, but I was like, someone's going to sit and Carlos is going to be like, well, what do I do from here? I believe this was his first jiu-jitsu class. He but he has wrestling experience, so gotta learn sometime. Good, I'm glad, man. It definitely, I could definitely feel it in his mechanics. All right, Steven getting a leg isolated, just about. Could have sat in for cross Ashi there. Oh, man. Carlos is just getting caught in so many triangles. I hope we didn't scare him off. I hope he comes back. Jason chasing the back down. What happened there with Cole and David? David into mount. I don't know why they stopped. Maybe arm attack? I have no idea. Of course, Cole's not in the chat. He probably cramped up and he doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah, he's like grabbing his hamstring, stretching. He's cramping. He's cramping. That's why he's not in the chat, because he's ashamed. Jason onto the rear naked strangle. One hook out, but I think he's got the strangle deep enough to where he probably doesn't need it. Oh, hey, bud. Were your fingers cramped and you weren't typing, or what's the deal? Technical lift up from Jason. And you know what? Just because we never ever highlight that, I'll highlight it now. But just, you know, wanting to get away, deciding to get up and get away. You don't have to play bottom half guard if you don't want to play it. I've been getting smashed from there a lot for the last 6 months. So here we see Jason with a collar tie. He's got that elbow in front, disrupts the base a little bit, says, you know what, I'm not playing this game. Hand back, foot forward. He'll bring this foot back. Even pulls Ben a little bit with him. Give Ben something to think about. Ben looking for some open guard action there. David onto a possible Katagatame here if he can get his head underneath Cole's tricep. Negative. Hey, all right, we got Carlos working from his back. Wonder if Steven just persuaded him to show him stuff, or... Yeah, it looks like, okay, they're going over body locks. Gotcha. I know you were cramping. That's why I said it over and over. Daniel and I were both watching judo, Olympic judo before this match, so we were practicing our Uchimata feints. There he almost Osoto-garis me, which I really didn't want. Then he goes, all right, cool, I'll just Maki Komi you or something. There it is. I always feel like I can beat him on that, and I'm wrong frequently. And then now I'm trying to get this knee underneath, but his control over that leg is making it hard for me to move my hips the way I want to move them. So he does such a good job like walking that down. All right, Steven and Cole. Steven in mount. Cole just about hits his back roll mount escape, or the Mitchell escape. I hit a Seoinage. I can't remember who it was. Oh, okay. If you see it, let me know. I'd love to see that. I was hoping you guys would stand with him. I mean, you know, I feel like it isn't frequent that we get a wrestler about my size in there. So it's like, if I don't have to get thrown around by a giant, I'll stand with somebody. I'll eat a blast double from a guy my size. Steven was too chicken. Steven working to a triangle here on Cole. Let's see if Cole powers out of this. Looks like Steven gets a tap, I think. I wonder if this was some I don't know. We'll call it a triangle. The arm didn't look like it was in a position to be attacked. Just doing everything I can to keep the distance between me and Daniel, but he quite literally steamrolls past my guard here. Controlling the legs, hits his roll. Oh my god, damn it. Jordan looking for a triangle. Everybody's looking for triangles today. Oh. Damn, I thought David and Jason were going down. Cole with the shoulder crunch here. Let's see if he can get Steven going. Steven rips out at the end. So Daniel's taunting me here, talking about me trying to use my foot wedge to get my leg free, because it makes me more parallel with him, which he then often takes advantage of and ends up getting a roll, which I wasn't actively trying to do that. I think I briefly did it, and that's when he started telling me to do it and taunting me more. So I know I'm skipping ahead a bit. I think I was trying to get control of his arm and like work kind of smother pressure, rather than going with the foot wedge, which is, you know, just another viable option. Yeah, right there, I kind of shoot it in. I'm like, no, I don't want to like baseball slide out with like that knee or anything. And he's like, okay, we're done playing, and ends up just hitting a bridge. I should have known. He's, you know, he gets his arm outside my knee here. That's, you know, his opportunity to kind of send it in as he hits the bridge, which I believe that's what he does. Yep. Pretty basic sweeping mechanics. Danny in on cross Ashi on Ronnie with the D bar. Ronnie says, yeah, you can have it. Big forward roll from Daniel. Right, Daniel and Luke. Luke with the double Kouchi to put Daniel down right off the bat. Catching him standing square. Little push. Oh, tell me he's Seoinage's Danny. That would be awesome. Good whizzer from Daniel. Another great example. I think we saw maybe Jordan last week using it. Oh, look, Daniel even like asked permission because he knows Luke's shoulders are made of paper mache. Hence why Luke was probably really going with that. Not to take anything away from Daniel. He knows how to throw a whizzer down. He does, okay. I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for that one. Had to give Steven his medicine this round. It's been too long. Peter's taking Ronnie's back here. Luke doing his best, turning his face into Daniel's torso to keep that north-south pressure off. Carlos again getting caught in a triangle after getting his back taken, it looks like. Okay, Danny sweeps. He exposes the back. It's all happening over my head. Like if Carlos comes back, first free lesson I'll give him will be in triangle escapes. Oh, that's right. I was wondering how I got to your back, Steven. Go back a little bit. So rather than the guard pass, I look to throw into the Z-lock, but can't quite get like the heel exposure I want and like the hip position I need for this. Yeah, this would be Z-lock, and you know I don't have a good reap on Steven's leg. He turns with it, but now I can catch the back and chase him down from here. I know Steven's always looking for the Kimura escape. He 4 points up, so I know how to handle the 4 point. Start climbing. Now I can get on his back, and I get a pretty easy strangle out of it. I think he just left his chin up, and I caught it. Luke on top of Daniel here. So let's see. Daniel goes looking for an armbar. I feel like Daniel let that go. I don't know why he would. Another good bridging escape from Daniel. Oh wait, yeah, there it is. There it is. Good arm throw. Seoinage from Carlos. Looking right here. Yeah. Sorry. Play it one more time without pausing. Then we'll look at the footwork. Let's see if I can... I believe so. What I think Daniel's doing, or I'm sorry, what I think Carlos is doing here is, yeah. So he's there. This is a good view. So he's got an outside bicep tie on Danny's collar tie, and he's got head on that same side. So it makes it really easy as Carlos turns 180 degrees. If you did it here from this view, we're going to see Carlos's right foot step in this direction as he kind of like turns 180, jumps and lowers his level. His head will, his head will remain, it should remain on the inside of Danny's arm, but then he's got that bicep tie to hold and then just basically ab crunches down to hit the Seoinage, the no-gi. Ippon Seoinage. There we go. Love that. A little dangerous when your opponents are sweaty. But yeah, and then Danny gives, Danny kind of shows a good reason as to why the Seoinage isn't always the best move in, especially in no-gi jiu-jitsu. In the gi, when you can, hold those grips, it's all well and good. Danny ends up getting his guard back and going on the counterattack from here. But keep in mind, to the real point I'm trying to make, back exposure, right? If you don't throw your opponent with this, if Danny doesn't get broken off the ground, he now has an opportunity to pretty easily step hooks in and start going for back attacks. So you went from a very neutral position, standing, facing each other, to having your back taken, and it's all your fault. So those, I love when Seoinage works. It's just a high risk maneuver with, I'm not going to say the highest reward, right? You get your opponent down, you're past their guard. That's pretty good. The risk there is having your back taken, being on the ground and having your back taken. So it's kind of up to you if you want to hit those, but they look pretty when they work. Is my ankle okay? Why wouldn't it be? What happened to my ankle? Is your ankle okay? I've seen your sock lines. Thing's constantly swollen. Luke hits a heel hook on Daniel. So he's into this deep half position. Looks like Daniel's attacking that top arm, but now Luke can get his hips, get Daniel's hips over his own hips. And he makes that big switch to that leg. I know Luke loves showing that move during leg lock week. Definitely a favorite of his. Danny's setting up an easy guillotine. Oh, to the Dars. Luke digs out the arm. That was nice. I like this. So from close guard, we'll see Luke dig the arm out here. And then it's like, okay, I could go Urigatami, straight arm attack, or I could shrug by when he doesn't give it to me, and now I've got the back exposed. I love that. I love seeing the backup plan be like so tactically rewarding that it's almost better, or it's almost as good as a sub. Obviously, the sub would be the better case here, but being able to get a back take out of it, or in this case, working to this deep triangle that he finishes an Americana with, that's really good as well. I didn't see this transition, so comes up over the back. Yeah, Luke loves this position too. That shoulder senkaku, it's not a rear triangle, it's not a side triangle, it's not a front triangle. But using that with the hips behind the elbow, it's probably my favorite way to hit an Americana. Anytime your hips or legs can be involved, it's just so much more powerful. Daniel just can't quite find the angle to get out of that. Cole with the big step over into mounts. Jordan with a nice bridge and gets himself back to a safer spot. Safe-ish. Cole doesn't stay there though. That's why I hate Kei Sugatame, for exactly what Luke just did there. Slips. He's on your back. Yeah, this is tough. Daniel's playing hard to get here with the back take. As Luke comes over, I can't tell if his leg is trapped, like if Daniel's hooking it and keeping it from moving. It might be a better option for Luke to use a short hook here in between the legs as opposed to being over the entire body, if that is the case. Right? It looks like he's kind of, yeah, I think Daniel was keeping him from being able to turn. So I would try to, this is like such a, thing you got to feel. But I would try to hook into this leg to maybe try to disrupt that grip. But that's hard to say. Either way, it ends in a Katagatame. Cole, why are you asking about my ankle? Oh man, now Luke is just like spamming submissions onto an anaconda with the quickness. I didn't even see the setup. Daniel's just like, let me just have a leg, man. Let me just work. No, that isn't even okay, now it's an anaconda. Luke was going like power guillotine there, but yeah. At some point, Steven straight ankled me. Oh, is that why you're asking about my ankle, Cole? Oh, yeah, here it is. He hits me with a quick counter. I'm like, I'm not getting out of that. Let's see what happened here. So I'm looking for heel exposure. See, the reason I tap to Steven's straight ankle so quickly is how good he is at sinking the grip in. Like, I was just talking to somebody about this. He's not stopping with the wrist behind my heel or behind my Achilles. He dives his arm all the way through to where his elbow is all the way behind my Achilles. And from there now I've got his weight on the Achilles lock. And then he just sets up his grip. I'm basically just flailing on my butt. There's no way I'm sitting up out of this because of his leg position. Not quickly enough, at least. So I give him an early tap on that one. Because I know he got me good there. So he avenged his rear naked strangle. We'll point out when I'm getting, submitted. Don't just say smart ass stuff and I'll go back and look at it. I'm glad I remembered because you didn't want to tell me. Yeah, who else does that? I think like Peters will sink a grip in like that. Luke will sink the grip in real fast on the Achilles. Those are, yeah, and Steven, like those are all guys I'm just going to immediately or very quickly tap to. As I'm getting used to shooting again, I've really been loving the low single. So that's what I hit here on David. I spent a lot of the initial part of this round, watching his feet, seeing what steps, seeing what's within reach, trying to read his grips to see what I could shake, and then hit my level change and go. So that's what I do here. He's got, I think his hand is like on my bicep or near my shoulder. So quick level change all the way down, real low on the single. And then again, hitting that kind of sweep motion. And then looking to stand back up with it, chase him down, keep him down. DPKXO, thanks for calling in. How you doing, Daniel? Why does the black belt avoid the strong, big purple belt or brown belt? It's a better question. Let's look at Cole get just run into the wall of James. James got the better of this exchange because of that underhook right here on the left, on Cole's left arm. It's just like, oh, this is too easy. I'll just put you right down. One more time. little pre-takedown nipple tweak from James there, I think. Yeah. Damn, you got nipple tweaked and then put on your back. All right, you regarded though. You're fine. David had, I think David has a really good escape here if I remember correctly. So he shuts down my rear naked, or maybe I spoke too early. At some point in this round, he gets out of a really good, oh, okay, no, I had a straight jacket on him, so that's why he tapped on that one. I'll have to look out for that. David has almost the same takedown on me there that we saw James do with Cole with that underhook. So same thing. Like, I think they call it a concrete mixer or concrete job in wrestling, or maybe a cow catcher. I don't know. I don't remember. That's why we need more wrestlers at the school. James taking mount. Got Cole's arms up over the head, but he's got the left arm under control here. Looking for the katagatame. Cole's got a way with backstroking out of these though. Always manages to get that elbow down to the mat just in the nick of time. Let's see if we can do that with James here. James taking his time, dismounting. Knows he doesn't want to do it too quickly. That's often where there's a well-timed bridge that creates enough space. See, Cole gets his elbow down. And now it's on to, okay, James scoops up the second elbow, and you can start looking for high mount options here. Smothers. I prefer looking for S mount here, but again, with Cole, he's got a way of getting you off balance when you go to do that. Cow catcher, okay. Jason trying to throw with a Sumigashi, throw Mike over, but I think it was a Sumigashi. Doesn't matter. Didn't work. All right, so I'm onto a triangle from here, and I take this triangle through a lot of different angles, and just because I suck, I guess, David manages to shut it all down and has a really good escape. I think he did this the last time we trained too. Gotta go from front triangle to wrong way triangle to rear triangle, and just none of it worked. So very frustrating. James still attacking up there. Looks like going on to an arm attack now. Looking for a key lock. Yeah, there David shakes the triangle as I'm trying to go up and around to the rear. But my legs get disconnected, and then he's like, all right, I'm easily out of that. Let's see, Steven and Ronnie over there doing some work. Steven looks like he's trying to dig Ronnie's arm out. Gonna cross it over the body now. He's got 16 seconds. Got Ronnie compromised. James, nice guard pass. Good stuff. Oh man, this is gonna hurt me to watch. I had Luke I feel like I had him dead to rights and cross Ashi in this round. And I gotta watch myself lose it all. I should have elbowed him in the face there. Steven taking a quick trip to cross Ashi Town on Mike there. Damn. I wish you guys kept going. Alright, before it gets too far, let's look at this. Ankle grip. Mike doesn't take it off. Steven slips in that top leg. And then from this false reposition, this is nice, Steven. We'll see Steven plant his foot here, elevate his hips, and then slip that leg underneath and behind Peter's left leg. So right there, scoops back in. And then this is, I like this choice. I feel like I often get here and I think, how can I take them back this way and sit them to their butt? You don't have to. You could just keep rolling. Get your head under their hips and then sit them down the other way, which is probably a hell of a lot easier. Really, really nice. I'm sure Mike was like, damn. So I'm digging my way back to guard, or a guard. Yeah, Mike gets the knee free, typical. Ronnie smashing legs. Let's see how I do it on Luke, because I hit a similar entrance that we saw Steven do. Luke really commits to this guillotine attempt, or like guillotine threat. And I've got to dig my head out of here. I know he doesn't have anything but control. So when he goes for... Yeah, so let me see. Where did I get my butterfly? So I'm playing with the butterfly half guard. Dive deep on the legs. Because Luke tries to go Darce or guillotine, with my butterfly hook, I extend it through. There's my cross Ashi leg. I have to get my other leg out. There I sit into it. And now with Luke locking it up, it's easy for me to get him over. Stevens was prettier. But there, now I get everything free. I gather up that secondary leg, and I'm in about as good of a cross Ashi as I could ask for. And Luke is just throwing up little hand fighting barriers to shut this down. Trying to get his primary leg under control. And then now he knows that if I have two hands to work with, he's going to be pretty much done. So he's going 2-on-1 on my arm that's nearest to him. So like, all right, let's just hang out here. This is fine. Trying to think about alternative things I could do to his legs, but there I start going for the secondary leg attack, and he starts getting his ankle back, and then it's gone. Stupid. I should have just kept on this. Even without hitting like a cloverleaf right there. I don't know why. Actually, I know why. I'm thinking, how can I attack his secondary leg? I should have just been focusing on getting the primary leg untangled. Yeah, that sucks. Either way, super happy with my entrance though. I mean, anytime I could get Luke that deeply compromised, or like in a position that deep, and give him, when I know Luke is like hand fighting or moving, it's like when you straight ankle Luke and he's just looking at you and you know your straight ankle sucks, but then one day he picks his hips up off the ground to relieve some pressure a bit, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm improving. That's how I felt about this cross Ashi. Meanwhile, Steven looking for another inversion. This time entering into an outside Ashi. Ronnie getting control of James here. Trying to get control of him at least. James sits back to an open guard. Mike hits the baseball slide past, or a knee cut, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if James can hike Ronnie over with this shallow underhook. Nope. Yeah, so now Luke goes on to just make my life miserable. Or at least try to. Man, you know what I should have done was try to cross his secondary leg across my body. I bet that would have been a better attempt. God damn it. Took me to the chiropractor there. Got a nice pop in the neck. Gets his hook in, rolls through. I like how Luke initiates the roll on this to like actually get the hook. Because I don't make it easy for him to just step the hook in. So as he rolls through, he doesn't even need a hook at that point. He gets to the body triangle, and then now, his stupid face. Now through that roll, I mean he gets over my chin enough to where I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight with that. That's definitely a mandible strangle, and it doesn't feel good. James with the double underhook. Sumigashi. And Luke with cutback single. Let's see, Mike has made his way to mount on Steven. Steven's, at least in my experience, notoriously good at getting out a high mount with some well-timed bridges and off-balancing. James makes his way to Ronnie's back here. Gets a pube caught in his mouth. Gets there with the chair sit back take, okay. Mike looking for the mounted triangle, but running low on time. Dude, Steven's just like, that's exactly what he does to me. He just goes, goodbye, right out the back with about any grip I try to take. Surprised Carlos hadn't stormed out yet. I'm sick of all these butt scooters. Nice. Got him over. Exposes back to the ground. It's like 2 points or something. I don't know. Kimura. Man, he's taking the hits. I appreciate that. Danny and I start off pretty chill and quickly get unchill, as is tradition. James putting Carlos in a cross ashi. I hope you guys at least show him stuff he can do in some of these positions. Nice entrance from X-Guard. I like how you're getting him off balance there. You switch to reverse X. The only reason it looks, sloppier than the picture perfect ones is gotta bring Carlos's hips over your head for that, like, picture perfect, beautiful sit down. Yeah, he really was. He would laugh and whatever. I hope he enjoyed it. But yeah, James, if you want to do this, if you want to play around with this move, try to bring, I would just say, and you may know this already, but try to bring your knees over your head, or for anybody who wants to try this entrance to Cross-Ashi, bring your knees over your head. That brings their hips over top of you, and then that sit into Cross-Ashi becomes very, very easy and looks pretty sweet too. I'm looking for a shoulder drop triangle entrance on Danny. She would not give to me. For a sloppy back take from me to Danny. Carlos leaving that arm behind, but bends the elbow, manages to pummel himself to safety. God, James. Chase down a standing guillotine there, boy. I mean, props to him too. The first thing he said to me, well, like after our first, after our round, he was like, "I'm out of shape," which I feel like all of us have said at some point after like some break from jiu-jitsu, or if we came from wrestling. But yeah, more to how good of a sport he is. I mean, he's I don't know what, 45 minutes into this open mat, still going. It's good. Did Mike sit with that, or did David? Oh, nice. David with a little slide by there. Got the collar tie, shallow underhook. Gets his head out of the way and just throws Mike right to the ground. Chases him down. Got to beat that knee, though. This would be a good opportunity to use some some float passing, pummeling your shoelaces on top of Mike's leg here, and then trying to fish his knee out with that shoelace to shoelace connection. Yeah, 100%, man. He's not gonna be out of shape for long. I wouldn't even say he is out of shape, but that's a grappler being hard on himself. Big over under sweep there from Mike. Looks like James, you're doing some goodwill here, teaching him some technical lift pointers so that guillotine doesn't happen again. Finally in on some semblance of a triangle. I got a wrong way triangle on Danny, but I don't think it works for me here. Switch to the back take instead. Mike doing his own thing as well. We're synced as usual. He looks like he's trying to go for some straight jacket stuff. He's got the arm trap. switch up to the arm bar, which I totally would have had, but Danny gives me the bird. And I think Mike and I wrap it up with the final round. There he's looking for an aversion. And I'm just bearing down to close off any space to make it hard for him to make the turn he needs or get the grip he needs. He very well may have been looking for that back take I did on Andrew earlier. I think that's still fresh in his mind. Pull that leg out for a leg drag and a pass. So just for the sake of, you know, how simple it is, we'll look at this briefly. You know, Mike is kind of setting up a leg attack here. Like I like to extend his leg and really make it difficult for him to get this right leg of his behind my leg, or, you know, basically to inside position, which if that does happen, he has double inside position with his legs. That's bad news for me. So I'm really sending it this way behind his knee. And then I'll make some space to get a grip on this shin, push it down, pop the ankle out into a leg drag, and then crowd in behind him to get the pass. So there, leg drag, crowding in, riding behind the leg, and circling. It also helps that this is the end of the round and Mike's, you know, likely tired and confident in his ability to re-guard very soon. Just as I go to mount, hits a little kip, gets me off balance. This is cool. I think David will give him some good, give Carlos some good stand-up rounds. David with the quick level chains. Has the head outside single. And yeah, we kind of see Carlos work with what we know, you know, what tools he has, right? I think any of us, if David did this, we would immediately start looking for guillotines, right? Carlos isn't used to attacking a guillotine, right? If you grab the head in wrestling, you need an arm with it too. So David's pretty safe here, tactically, right? It's a good sit out. Okay. And then nice inside trip. Good step from David. Gets Carlos down. And now Carlos looking to create space. Get the legs in. I briefly sit back foreleg before realizing I shouldn't. Yeah, see, there's Mike trying to hit that same entrance I did to Andrew earlier. But I just kind of jumped forward through it instead. So I pretty much just leap in this direction past it. Whereas when I did it to Andrew, I was able to get my knee through and then start immediately disrupting this leg to make it so that Andrew couldn't like step without his leg continuing to go. So before Mike can do that to me, I just hop by. There he is on it again. Just big step over. Carlos in on a single here. Let's see if he could hit a... Goes briefly thinking double, maybe to a cutback. And then David countering with the front headlock position. I imagine this is where we'll see the sit out. Very nice. Man, take notes for everybody who has trouble with sit outs. Big sit through with that leg. Pressuring the head back into David's body. Gets David off balance enough. I'm going to assume he's got some sort of grip on the wrist, something to disrupt that grip. I don't know if there's a... Man, I'm pretty confident he does, just by virtue of his elbow position here, David's elbow position, and then we see him starting to go over. Yeah, man, that was really nice. onto the back. There we go. Hooks in. Love it. Got to get that other hook in. There we go. What's Mike doing? Oh yeah, Mike manages to rip my leg free here. Nice sweaty round at the end of this makes it easy for these leg escapes. If this was earlier in the match, I'm sure Mike would have had me in some serious trouble there. Carlos is looking like he's just wanting to pin David, which that's cool. I like it. Looking for a fireman's carry there. It looked like that, or maybe a super duck or something. David gets a Darce out of that. Some sort of. I guess we could. I mean, it's not really a Darce that we're used to seeing, but it's pretty much akin to it. Maybe he's just getting a squeeze on him. Carlos is ready to call it. So Mike driving his hip bone into my face. Probably why I have a black eye right now. That, and I think he'd need me at some point. Skip ahead. So I managed to get back to a turtle position. Mike looking for anaconda attempts here. You can tell typically because anacondas you're going to initiate with a gator roll. Darces you're, like we saw with David earlier. I think David or Jordan. They're going to go in a different direction. Mike's really trying to send a Darce through now, I think. Or at least like kind of Japanese necktie setup. I get my feet back underneath me, stand back up, go for that low single, try to chase it down. Good stuff. Uh-oh. What's going on here? God damn it. I think I'm frozen. Can you guys hear me or see me, or is it frozen? All I got is James's thumbs up. Oh, okay. Well, then it's just my computer being stupid. And I can't change off of this. Can't change off of the screen. So, whatever. Anyway. Let me get off of this Twitch. There we go. So, yeah, that's that. That's Saturday footage. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you guys learned something. As always, bring it to Mike and I and Luke and Bertram if you have any questions. My computer might crash here in a second, so we'll get through this quickly. But follow if you're lurking. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Subscribe at YouTube as well. Let us know if you guys have any interest in competing anytime soon. Check Smooth Comp if you're curious about what is coming up in our area. They're a great resource for keeping track of these upcoming competitions. Plenty on there that I've never even heard of. So go check it out if you guys want to compete and let us know. Other than that, we're moving on to Mount for the next 2 weeks. So hope you guys are ready for that. Should be a good time. And yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. I'm going to struggle through shutting down OBS right now. But in the meantime, you guys go trim your nails and do your laundry and don't be stinky. And I'll see you back on the mats. Let's take it easy.